What's up, guys? Just Oliver here, bringing you another video to my channel. Anyways, guys, today I'm bringing you the Q&A. That's right, the Q&As. They're back if you haven't heard by now. To submit your questions, description box, it gives you all the information to do so. Let's get started with this one. As we have Reed019 asked, which video game Let's Players do you watch? I watch a variety of video game Let's Players, and it's not just one constant guy that I watch. It's more or less like, oh, this new game come out? Okay, well, I'm going to go check out a Let's Play of this. And preferably, sometimes I prefer no commentary sometimes on my Let's Play. I like people who commentate on Let's Plays in general. I don't hate people who commentate, but preferably if it's a newer game that I have big interest in, I'd rather not hear someone talk over it, so that way I can watch the cutscenes and stuff like that. YouTubers nowadays are much more smarter where they don't talk during the cutscenes, but I like to almost, when I watch Let's Players, because I watch it on my TV through the YouTube on Xbox, and I want it to almost feel like I'm actually playing the game myself, but I'm not playing it. I'm watching someone else play it. Just some people that I check out, though, that do play video games. Chris Move is obviously one of them, if you notice some of my phrases, and sometimes I say stuff that he says in his videos. DSP Gaming, I like him because he does a lot of the wrestling stuff on there. I like some of the wrestling YouTubers, too, like Tubby Emu and CM Pulse. So those are some of the guys that I watch, preferably for some of my YouTube gaming. Those are like my main sources. Oh, and of course, my good friend JD Venom, who you should check out, where old school and new school gaming meet. He does a call league called FCW. You should definitely check it out. Number 2, if you were tasked with intentionally booking the worst WrestleMania ever, what would the matches be? Ooh. The main event would be Hornswoggle versus El Torito for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I would have Daniel Bryan job out to Santino Marella with the Cobra. I would also have probably like CM Punk take on the Great Khali, and CM Punk will be blindfolded and same with the Great Khali. So Great Khali's blindfolded too in all this, and pretty much CM Punk loses because he gets by-script. I would have Dolph Ziggler get kicked in the nuts by like AJ Lee, like straight up, like that's just a segment. That's like the match, and he's going for the Divas title too. Like Dolph Ziggler decided that he wanted to be a woman, and so he's going for the Divas title instead. And so Dolph Ziggler faces AJ Lee for the Divas title. But AJ Lee's like, no, man, fuck this shit. Kick him in the nuts. I would have John Cena wrestle 3 matches in one night. And get this, he wins all of them. That would just be one of the worst things for a lot of you people. And that's why I'm putting it on there. That's a really good question. If I were to book a worst WrestleMania, I'm sorry if I didn't really go into detail about the feuds. Maybe sometime, like later on, maybe during the summer, I'll do the worst SummerSlam card possible, or I'll do booking the worst SummerSlam ever. I actually had a video that I didn't upload because I felt a lot of people wouldn't get the joke. I made a joke video of like WrestleMania 30 fantasy booking, and all the matches featured Triple H. And it was just going to be like Triple H versus Triple H and Triple H versus Triple H. But I didn't think people would get the joke, so I just didn't upload it. But maybe during the summertime, I'll make a video just saying like the worst SummerSlam card ever or something. Maybe during the summertime. Who knows? But those are some matches. I don't know. Maybe those pissed you off. Maybe those are some of the worst matches you've ever heard. So I think the Dolph Ziggler one and the AJ Lee one sounds like the worst thing I came up with. Good question there, Reed019. Final Limits asks, do you watch any videos from Nature Girl 30, including her Q&As? Like most YouTubers, I do watch some stuff. I don't watch all of Nature Girl's videos. I do enjoy her work. I watch mostly what her thoughts are on the shows. I try to keep up with what everyone's doing in terms of the Q&As and in terms of everything else, but when it comes down to it, it's mostly just, you know, I want to hear their thoughts on wrestling. I subscribe to these wrestling people to hear their thoughts on wrestling, and most of the time the Q&As don't really get too much wrestling asked in them. And it's nothing against you guys, it's just how it is, because you guys want to know us more as YouTubers. And so I tend to watch more of her Raw reviews and her pay-per-view reviews just to see what she thought about the product. Same with the British Fist. Like, I love the British Fist, but I don't watch, like, any of their Q&As. I watch their NXT reviews and stuff like that, and their topic videos. If you make a topic video, you're automatically one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, because I like when people do topic videos. That's why I like watching the Deluxe Man or an OTR Central, is because they do topic videos. I like to do topic videos as well whenever I can find the time, and definitely during the summer, I'm going to find a lot of time to make sure to do more topic videos. What if Kelly Kelly and Maryse came back to the WWE and started a feud with each other and ended in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and they ended up fighting on top of WWE headquarters building, and Kelly Kelly speared Maryse and both ladies fell off the building? How would you react? Holy shit. I would have to see that live. I would imagine it would be terrible commentary. Like Michael Cole would be like, oh no. Oh no. And then they just scare each other out the building. I don't know how we reacted to it. That thing is like, you have to see it live. I would probably be shitting bricks, that's for sure. I'd be like, I want to go! What? Did they really just did that? And then after me freaking out, I'd probably laugh and be like, they had two divas fighting a false count anywhere match and they fell off the building, those dumb bitches. So that would probably be my reaction. At first, I would be like freaking out, but then I would be laughing that two divas fell off a building. So call me a sick individual, but it's WWE TV. Anything can happen, and sometimes it's done. Leon Pascalodi asks, why is Bray Wyatt getting fed to John Cena? That is a good question, Leon. I think mostly because this is how John Cena works. John Cena gets to call his own shot. That's just the bottom line. When you're John Felix Anthony Cena, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And so John Cena looked at Bray Wyatt and said, I can make money with this guy. And also Bray Wyatt's being fed to John Cena because other main eventers like Randy Orton and Batista, maybe a Sheamus, and all the other Breakfast Club members want to know, can Bray Wyatt make money with John Cena? That's what they're testing Bray Wyatt with right here. You know, you can say whatever you want about it, but what my theory is that he's being fed to John Cena as a test subject to see, can this guy make money with Cena? Because if he can't make money, if you can't make money with John Cena in today's WWE and how the WWE views this shit, you're pretty much a failure. And that's how the WWE views it. That's just the bottom line. They won't blame Cena for not helping making the money. No, they're going to blame his opponent. Look at what happened with The Miz and R-Truth. They got blamed for Survivor Series having a low buy rate just because they didn't blame Cena or Rock. They didn't blame any of those two. They blamed The Miz and John Morrison, Miz and R-Truth for that instant. Look at Damian Sandow. They didn't view Sandow as a guy that could make money with John Cena. You wonder why Wade Barrett's not getting pushed? That anyone was clamoring for that Cena-Wade Barrett feud? Did anyone order a lot of those pay-per-views? No, and that's what hurt Wade Barrett. John Cena is not going to get blamed for this shit because they just look at his WWE shop crap and they go, oh, he's number one on WWE shop. He's making the money for us. He's putting the food on the table. They won't blame, you know, John Cena for lack of money into the feuds. And so that's why I think he's getting fed to John Cena, is because the other Breakfast Club members, you know, they're going to feud with him down the line. You know this. So they want to know, can John make money from him? And if John makes money for feuding with Bray Wyatt, then I'm going to make money feuding with Bray Wyatt. And that's just the bottom line. These guys are selfish individuals. When you're in the wrestling business or business in general, sometimes you have to be selfish. And I feel it's more or less that Cena, he probably does like Bray Wyatt. For all we know, Cena probably respects Bray Wyatt and he thinks this guy is phenomenal. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, in this recession, it's all about the money. So I think that's why Bray Wyatt's getting fed to John Cena. And what Let's Plays have you watched? What games? Like I said earlier, newer games. Recently, Infamous Second Son. I liked the first Infamous, and the second Infamous I loved a lot. I really thought that was one of the better superhero games in a while. Not named Dark Knight, Arkham City. So Batman Arkham City. Sorry, I said Dark Knight. But yeah, Infamous Second Son, I was really looking forward to it. I don't currently have a PS4 or an Xbox One, so I like to see what are the newer games. And, you know, I wasn't impressed with it just from what I saw from the Let's Play. That's the most recent one I watched. I watched classic ones. Like, I watch anything Spider-Man related, so if you have, like, a Spider-Man Let's Play, that's awesome. I watch it. I watch anything where if I'm craving something like, oh, I like this PS2 game. Let me go watch X-Men Legends. Let me go watch X-Men Legends 2. Oh, yeah, I want to see if someone played Ratchet & Clank. Did one of my favorite YouTube? Yes, he did. Let me go watch that video. So that's what I do when it comes down to the videos in general. When it comes to Let's Play, it depends on the game. I've watched a bunch of different Let's Play. That's why I don't even watch that much TV anymore, because YouTube on Xbox, it's fucking phenomenal. Like, if you haven't downloaded that app yet, go download it. It is fucking phenomenal. Lonelo asks, what do you think the divas smell like? Cherry blossom unicorns. That's what I think they smell like. And what do you think of TNA right now, and how come you don't review it? All right. I still watch TNA. I'm not a huge fan of TNA. And here's the reason why I don't review it. The thing about TNA is just that I've been a huge fan of TNA for a long time. I'm a big TNA fan. I know it doesn't come off to you guys like that, but I love TNA. I loved some of their NWA stuff back in the day. I loved their stuff from 2005 to 2007. It's just the thing with TNA is It's not fun to review. And put this into my shoes of being a reviewer. I pretty much, when I didn't even watch Lockdown because I was in Vegas for that weekend. So I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a TNA pay-per-view while I'm fucking getting drunk in Vegas. When I heard Magnus retained the title and I heard Abyss came back, I said, wait, isn't Abyss and Eric Young feuding right now? Eric Young's friends with Joseph Park. And I put two to two together. And before Eric Young was even close to being mentioned a TNA World Champion, or even won it, I said to myself, wow, TNA is really going to give Eric Young the TNA World Heavyweight. And even before, like, AJ Styles, when he lost that stupid triple threat match at Finals Resolution, the loser could not, the person who got pinned could not face for the belt until Bound for Glory of next year. I said to myself, once AJ got pinned, well, he's in the Bound for Glory main event. The thing about TNA is, reviewing it, it's not fun. It's predictable. Half the shit, they leave your cards wide open. Like, you can say, well, yeah, because there's spoilers out there, but no. It's just how they book. You know what they're going to do. You know what they're going to do. There's not much to rant about. And most of the time, if I would do a TNA review, it'd just be talking about like, oh yeah, this was good, but this was terribly bad. I don't understand what they're doing here. Is this character going to pan out? No, it's not. The thing about TNA is, it's just not fun to review. That's just me. There's other reviewers like Fool Killer, The British Fist, and OTR Essential. If you need your TNA fix, go to those guys. They do an excellent job, especially Fool Killer. He does a great job with TNA reviews. But for me personally, it's just that it's so predictable, TNA. And that's not fun for me to review. Would you want to watch Breaking Bad? Or if, let's say you review TV shows on here, would you want to review a TV show that seems predictable? I know a lot of people are like, well, Chase, WWE is somewhat predictable. Yes, but WWE has the power to sometimes change your mind and sometimes play with you a little bit. And it's much more funnier to talk about most of the time with WWE. TNA is just like a joke itself. It's not funny to make fun of TNA that much. I don't hate TNA that much. I don't believe in it that much anymore that I used to. I just always feel like TNA, people always tell me, oh, it's getting good. And then I turn back onto it and there's just like, they do the same shit that I knew that was going to happen. I knew Eric Young was going to become TNA World Champion. It was obvious. If you guys did not think Eric Young was going to win the TNA World Championship, you must not have been watching that much professional wrestling because you know TNA likes to do stupid shit. And when you saw Abyss interfere in that Joe Magnus match, the light bulb should have clicked that Eric Young was winning that fucking title. That should have clicked right there. Because I really thought they were going to give Eric Young the title after I read that result at Lockdown. And look at that, they did. I don't really like talking about TNA because, like I said, it's too predictable for me to talk about. I don't know if I will do TNA reviews. Maybe one day I will set up the camera and I'll do a TNA review. But don't expect it to be as good as my Raw reviews or any of that. But like I said, I'm not too high on TNA. I still watch it just because I'm a wrestling fan. But other than that, I'm not really looking forward to reviewing it. And also, I feel like with reviewing TNA, it's like takes away something because, like, with WWE, I review like the Raws and the pay-per-views. But with TNA, I can kind of just watch it and then hear what other people think about it. And me personally just enjoy it for what it is sometimes. So, sometimes there's stuff about TNA that I enjoy that I think a lot of people would disagree with me about. Like, I like what they're doing with Nux. And I actually like the Samuel Shaw and Ken Anderson storyline. And, a lot of people would disagree with me on those things. And I don't want to get into debates about stupid TNA storylines most of the time. So that's why I don't review TNA. Hope that answers your question. Lino Gino asks, what do you think about male and female wrestlers do right after their match when they go backstage behind the curtains? If you're dating someone, you probably make out with them. They probably just chill out, eat food. I'm pretty sure they're tired. Dolph Ziggler says he likes to work out after a match. They probably do a bunch of things. Like, they're normal humans once they go behind the curtain. So what would you do after you played a football game or something? What'd you do? So that answers your question. And do you think Jeff Hardy is clean now, or does he still do drugs? I don't know Jeff Hardy personally. I'm pretty sure he still dabbles a little bit. I don't think you can just be a drug addict and just quit automatically. Yeah, he's been to rehab, but I think he does like maybe a little bit. Maybe he just smokes weed on occasion. I could see Jeff Hardy smoking weed on occasion. I don't see him doing like the hardcore shit that like he used to do, but I'm pretty sure he does some weed every once in a while. So that's what I probably think about what Jeff Hardy does. The Savvy Yes Man asks, if somehow possible, which MMA fighter, male and or female, would you like to see in the WWE and why? Ronda Rousey. And here's the reason why Ronda Rousey. I know it's like a cop-out answer, But this girl is entertaining. She has charisma. She is very beautiful to watch. She is a legit badass. And she's someone that I think that a lot of wrestling fans could respect. And she is someone that I feel can bring some light to the Divas division. Because she actually talks shit. She doesn't give a crap. And I feel it would be great for the WWE to have a Ronda Rousey represent their company, in my personal opinion. Yeah, she says some stupid shit sometimes and some immature crap. But other than that, to me personally, I think Ronda Rousey would be great TV for the WWE because she could bring some controversy in the Divas division, that's for sure. And also Daniel Cormier. I think Daniel Cormier would work well out of an out-of-box guy. I think he has a look for it. He's someone that I think with his wrestling background could be like a Kurt Angle, especially with the way he's losing. I think Daniel Cormier would also work well. Nintendo Fanboy 1998 asks, do you think Paige needs a damn tan since she's whiter than Sheamus? I like Paige. I think Paige is beautiful, so nah. She doesn't need a tan. And you think that Ghost Pitch Paige is overrated beyond belief by the Smarks? And then he puts, by the way, age rate greater than that bitch Paige. I don't think Paige is overrated too much by the Smarks. I always say this. There's a different term between overrated and overhyped. Overrated is someone like Gunner. Gunner is overrated. That is someone who's overrated. He's not as good as he's advertised by TNA and by some people. Overhyped is like you overhype this thing, like, oh, this is fucking great. Like with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk matches, oh, this is gonna be the best motherfucking match ever. Like that's overhyped. You're overhyping that shit way too much because it ended up just being a good, decent technical match. I've seen Kurt Angle do so much better than Daniel Bryan and CM Punk did, and that's a freaking fact. But Paige is overhyped for sure by the Smarks. Overrated, that's a different term because Paige actually has abilities to back up what she does in the ring. She's overhyped, if anything. I think the Smarks have overhyped her a little bit. I haven't been impressed because really all her gimmick is that's really all her gimmick is. It's just screaming her lungs off. Keen Romy asks, what do you think of when Michael Jackson died? When you were you happy or sad or just didn't care at all? I was shocked. I came home from summer school and I was eating my tuna fish sandwich, and then all of a sudden, Michael Jackson died. I was just like, what? Michael Jackson died, and I remember the whole time during football practice, we were just playing MJ songs. I like I said, I didn't grow up with like Michael Jackson. I've heard a lot of Michael Jackson songs in my time, and really, to be honest, when I was learning about Michael Jackson's name as a kid, it was about how he had a fake nose that was falling off, and how he was like playing with little kids. So, like Michael Jackson kind of had a bad light near the end of his life for me to really like feel really bad that he died, but it was definitely shocking. I just couldn't believe it that when I heard he died, I was like, Michael Jackson, that's weird. And the whole time during football practice, I remember we just talked about it the whole day. It's weird. And what do you think of Kevin Nash in 1992 in WCW as Vinny Vegas? Kevin Nash went through some shit. For all the people that want to give shit that Kevin Nash didn't do crap, Vinny Vegas is a great example of what Kevin Nash had to do to make it into business. Shorororo Hodoro asks, hey Arnold, have you ever watched that? And if so, who is the character you like the most? Yes, I have watched Hey Arnold, and I like the kid that would breathe on freaking Helga. You know, and then get punched in the fucking face. And I also like I don't remember his name. I think his name was Troy. I don't remember. But he was like a, not even like a main character. He was like a recurring character. He was like the fifth grader that got held back to Arnold's grade, if you guys remember what I'm talking about. And so he got held back. And I like that character a lot. I don't know. I thought it was a really well-written character for, you know, a TV show. Like I said, he wasn't like a main character, but he recurred. Like he showed up to like the episode where they do the baseball field. That's my favorite episode of all time. And thoughts on the Monkey Man from Hey Arnold? Not really too much thoughts on the Monkey Man. He was pretty funny though. The Monkey Man was pretty funny. Cornello Ranello asks, what do you think of Jasmine, Chick Kick 21, being a wrestler, and who do you think is better as a wrestler, Mitch or her? I haven't seen much of Chick Kick's stuff. Good for her. She's living out her dream. That's all I gotta say. Good for her. I think she's in Florida now. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her in a while. Who's better? I haven't seen most of Jasmine's work, and from what I've seen from her, what she showed me, it was some of her stuff during her developmental days or during like when she was first training. So based off of what I've seen, Mitch is better. What happened to Master Booby Booby that Edge mark? Wasn't he supposed to be a wrestler too? I don't even know who the fuck that is, dog. In all honesty, I do not know who you're talking about when it comes down to that. So if he's a wrestler now, We don't know yet. Roy Poon asked, oh no, I clicked on the wrong name. Roy Poon asked, what do you think like more, UFC and wrestling? Why? Or wrestling, why? I like wrestling more than UFC. I grew up with wrestling more than UFC. I actually like boxing more than both sports, believe it or not. The UFC is cool. I like the UFC. I have no problem with the UFC. I think that wrestling helped UFC succeed, and UFC fans can deny that, but your biggest draw of all time is fucking Brock Lesnar, who is a former professional wrestler, and people got into UFC because of Brock Lesnar. In all honesty, I like wrestling a little bit more. It's just because I grew up with it longer. That's it. No real reason. And what 5 MMA fighters do you think can be wrestlers like Ken Shamrock if they decide to become pro wrestlers? I already said Ronda Rousey and Daniel Cormier earlier, so just throw in those two. The other three, I think Tito Ortiz actually had potential to be a wrestler if he really actually trained. Back in Tito Ortiz's prime, I think he would make a great wrestler. And he would cut promos to the Scott Steiner level of awesomeness. So Tito Ortiz for sure. Let's see. Who would be the other two that I would put in there as wrestlers? It's really hard. GSP. I think GSP has a really good look. He would be a nice little baby face for them to have. For all you Daniel Bryan fans, he's pretty much a bulkier version of Daniel Bryan. And who's a under the radar type of guy that would be Anthony Pettis? I'll throw in Anthony Pettis. I think Anthony Pettis has a really good look. He would be something that like a lot of people who like vanilla midgets like. He is very athletic. He could probably do some crazy moves. I think Anthony Pettis would be a good wrestler. Those are my 5 UFC fighters that could probably become professional wrestlers. John Kunk asked, what do you think of when Kurt Angle debuted back in TNA in 2006? I shit my pants. Okay, I was literally like freaking the fuck out because I was like, what? Oh my God, Kurt Angle. Like, because Kurt Angle just left the WWE. You forget. Kurt Angle was the World Heavyweight Champion entering 2006 for the WWE. He was the World Heavyweight Champion in 2006 for the WWE. And you figured that Kurt Angle was still going to be a main portion of the WWE. And when he left the company, it surprised the shit out of me. And to join TNA, especially after Genesis, oh my God, it was crazy. I thought it was great. And why does WWE start pushes only to stop them and then push the wrestlers? Example, Sandow and Ziggler. It's called WWE does not know what to do with these superstars. That's it. WWE doesn't know how to write for these guys. They're like, okay, we gave you the ball. You dropped it. Let's just not push you anymore. They just don't know what to do with these guys. That's the honest opinion. And also there's guys at the top that don't want to give up their position. See John Cena. See Randy Orton. So that's why these guys do not get pushed at the end of the day. We're almost done, guys. I'm sorry this video is long. You guys asked really good questions that I like to go into detail for. Kamari Ronzo asked, why does Paige scream like a crazy bitch during her matches? She's not intimidating at all. She's a skinny little bitch. Like I said, that's all Paige's gimmick is ah! I don't know. She's trying to be excited. I can't answer that for you. I'm not that in depth with Paige yet. Let me get more closer to Paige, and I'll tell you why she screams during the matches. What are your thoughts on Bruce Blitz? I like Bruce Blitz. I think he brings something different to the YWC, and he does a great job covering a lot of sports. He's definitely a hard worker when it comes down to his website. So I respect Bruce Blitz. He knows how to promote himself very well. He's definitely someone that a lot of YouTubers who want to get people to look at their channels, look at what Bruce Blitz posts on Twitter. He does a really good job. I may disagree with him on some things about wrestling, but he definitely knows what he's talking about. Is he a tad bit overhyped and overrated? Yeah, you could say that, but in all honesty, I think he does a really good job with himself on how he promotes himself with his videos and his website overall. That's just my personal opinion. World Herald asks, question 1. How many hours does Chase Oliver 68 work out for? Asked by World Herald. I work out for 1 hour a day. 20 minutes cardio, 20 minutes working out, 15 minutes of that stretching, so 1 hour pretty much. World Herald question 2. What games does Chase Oliver 68 like more? Mario games or Sonic games? Asked by World Herald. I can't really do a cheap answer here. I'll say Sonic games. I'll say Sonic games. I know Mario's better on the 3D, but I'm sorry. That ring sound gets me all the time. Bling, bling. And fucking Escape the City. Tell me when Mario releases a track that fucking is still stuck in my head to this day. Rolling down and deep down the side, and then I gotta burn down the rainbow. And we're going to end off this Q&A with Will Ferrell, number 1. Did you ever watch 24? Yes, it made no sense to me how they did a whole season in 24 hours, but yes, I did watch it. And were you ever a fan of Star Trek, and who is your favorite character? Never a fan of Star Trek, but I do like John Picard because of Story Mode Federation. Captain John Picard of the USS Enterprise. So, I like Captain John Picard. Thank you guys for watching the Q&A. I'm sorry I went a little bit long. There's some questions that I wanted to detail on. I'll try to make it shorter for you guys. And hey, maybe you guys do like the longer episodes for the Q&As. I don't know. Leave your thoughts about the video length. I really want to know because I don't want to make it too long for you guys. I want you guys to be able to watch these videos and hear your questions get answered. That's why I worry about the length sometimes. Comment down below your thoughts about this video. Any questions that interest you, give me your answer to them. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOver68. Make sure you check out the website, chillinwithchase.com. And subscribe if you haven't. I am out of here. Hope you guys have a good day. Biggie, say goodbye to the people. The fuck, Biggie? Later.